Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Mile High Game Guys board gaming podcast. I'm your host, Adrian.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Jeff.
And I'm the DM, Wes. We rejoin the hosts this week as they begin another recording of their board gaming podcast. Last week, they explored a top 10 episode and murdered tons of games. Let's see where they go from here.
In case you didn't notice, Wes will be joining us this episode. DM from the Mile High Dungeon Delvers and friend of the show. I like that intro. I think we need to have Wes give a brief recap of last week on Mile High Game Guys every week.
But remember, not actual friend, only friend of the show.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct. In real life,
I actually hate these people.
Yeah, in real life, we're very skeptical about Wes as well.
Always designing ramshackle buildings.
Correct.
That was one time.
Anyway.
You have one building collapse and then...
And then they just take your license away.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, half the people survive, though.
Shouldn't only half my license be gone?
Exactly.
Take off a couple letters.
Yeah, no, I just have lice.
I'll be an Archie.
There you go.
Oh, God. Anyway, this is a Wednesday episode, if you couldn't tell by the ridiculous banter. And Wednesday episodes are always sponsored by our awesome sponsors, Gray Fox Games. So thank you to them for continuing to support this ridiculous show and its adventures. But yeah, thanks for coming and joining us, Wes. It's been a little while since we had you on this part of the show. Obviously, you're on every other week over on the Dungeon Delvers.
AKA a different show.
Yes. An entirely different show. An entirely better show, one might say.
You're probably right.
One person would probably say that, yeah.
Just shut this one down.
Yep.
Shut
We're
it down.
only D&D podcast now.
Oh my God, it would save me so much editing.
Would it?
It'd save me like 3 hours of editing.
Editing that you could put into Dungeon Delvers.
Correct.
So it doesn't save any.
Dungeon Delvers quality would go up.
Yes. All the time could be spent on there.
Every time I start a new podcast, just the quality of all of the other ones is going to shift down just a bit to accommodate for it. So we get to that nice, bare minimum acceptable level.
Wait, so what's this?
This is 3 or 4 notches above bare minimum acceptable.
Ugh. Your acceptable level is...
We can always go down.
Yeah.
It could be a lot worse. We could just not edit at all.
Yeah. We could point all the mics at walls and just hope the reflections get picked up.
That's only happened a few times.
Exactly.
There would be significantly more dog barking.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we just keep Jester in here and then just randomly rile her up.
We could put her in here in her crate so that she can see all of us, but she's trapped.
Yep.
And she will lose her shit.
And then we're just eating food constantly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I'd feel bad for her. I couldn't do that to her. Listeners, us, I don't care about that. I couldn't do that to her. Anyhow, so what's everybody been up to? Wes, you haven't been on in a while. What have you been up to lately?
I've been playing a lot of work and jury duty.
Ah,
Yeah.
Ooh.
civic duty.
Yep. So that's what I did today and most of the past 2 or 3 weeks.
Was it your first time?
No, this is the 4th time I've been summoned, and I have yet to actually serve on a jury.
I've only been summoned once, and that was after I moved away from Denver, and I got summoned to Denver, where you have to live at least 50% of your time. I'm like, I don't live there anymore. So
Yeah.
Nice. I've never been summoned for jury duty.
I had never been summoned until I moved to Denver, and then I've been down there 3 or 4 times. And then now that I don't live in Denver anymore, technically, then I don't know, we'll see.
Officially.
I mean, it's the greater Denver area.
I mean, it's based on what county you live in.
Yes,
So.
you don't live in the city and county of Denver. So.
Correct. I now live in Jefferson County.
Good old Jeffco.
Which, since I was sitting there for a long time doing nothing, I did the math based on the numbers they gave me. And in any given calendar year, a resident of Jefferson County has a 1.5% chance of being on a jury.
See, now I want to know what the odds are for Denver. If they do things different. If there's more cases, so there's more people called, so your chances are higher relative. Or
Right, but then the
there's so many
population
more
is
people.
higher.
Yeah,
so who knows?
These are
Probably people.
fun statistics.
yes.
We'll get Kaiser to look this up for us.
Yes.
Andrew, do
Do
stuff.
a jury duty email.
I haven't really been up to much. I've been doing a little bit of working at my one contract job that was randomly hey, it's almost Christmas, so of course we have a lot of work for you to do. Which is nice because I need Christmas money. And just money in general for life and food and things like that.
Power bills.
Our bills, yes. But yeah, that's been basically it. Haven't gotten to do D&D in a while. Been editing and releasing episodes. They're on the new feed now. I don't think I mentioned that on the show, but they're on a new separate feed, so you got to go subscribe if you want to keep hearing D&D stuff. But we'll be doing that again this weekend, so looking forward to that. Yeah, nothing terribly exciting. Still playing No Man's Sky a bunch. Watched the Broncos, sort of watched the Broncos, not sort of get embarrassed on national television by the 49ers. Thanks for that, Ofer. I blame you personally. It was real bad, but that's all I'm going to say about it, because the Broncos, as soon as I started to be like, okay, we could finish the season strong, they go and injuries.
They wait until you get hope.
Yes.
And then
they are the best entity. Well, I mean, Life is slightly better at giving me hope and then snatching it away, but the Broncos are right behind Life in that. Like, those are the top two things that give me hope and then snatch it away.
Life's had more practice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Life has had 33 years of me paying attention to it.
It's real good at that.
Yeah. The Broncos have only had about 15 or so years of me really paying attention.
Yeah.
And it can only affect you, 4 months out of the year? Whereas Life can affect you at any time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like right now.
Start doing pull-ups on the bar.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, let's talk about what board games we've played. So, Jeff, what have you been playing lately?
No Blood Bowl, but the brackets are out for the finals. I'm in the finals.
We have a whole section devoted to this. You don't need
to right to Bloody
No,
Minute.
well, there's no Bloody Minute. It's just that I'm 7th seed and I play 2nd seed and I'm playing Chaos.
And now it's been a minute.
Yeah, I'm totally moving this to where Bloody Minute should be. So, Adrian, go ahead and give, and now you can just go ahead and leave that in, and I'll just edit it in.
Yeah, so Jeff, how about your Bloody Minute?
Boom, done. There we go.
Besides that, I realized that I need to contact the Parsley Games people to get my Action Castle to me, because everyone else has it and I don't. And my address was correct in the Kickstarter, and I never received it.
My address was...
It's probably with your Dogs of War, I would assume.
Yeah. Just like, oh, can you get me a tracking number for that thing that you said that I got? Because it doesn't actually have one on here. Silence. Oh. Never heard from them again.
Of course not.
The company just disappeared.
Yeah, Simon.
It was all to grift you.
Yes.
Well, see, you've complained about it enough on the show that people have stopped supporting them, which is why they're down millions of dollars.
That's exactly why.
It was the Dogs of War misfulfillments.
They're feeling
specifically the Jeff misfulfillments.
Yeah.
Well, and then to talk about it on the show, that's the MHGG effect. We trash you, you lose millions of dollars. So keep us happy.
No.
I played pretty much everyone else's games this last week.
Yeah.
Starting with Ice Cool 2.
Yes. Finally brought it to game night.
You picked it up a while ago, right? A couple weeks.
A couple weeks, which in game time, especially with Black and Red, that's years ago, basically.
Yeah. We played a full 8-player game.
8-player game with both copies and a giant ass map that used all 10 of the
rooms.
Yeah.
It was interesting. A lot of Zach crushing literally everyone else in every way imaginable.
Yeah, so when you play with 8 players, you've played Ice Cool, right?
Yeah.
Okay. When you play with 8 players, you have 2 hall monitors and then 6 people that are running around trying to get to their spaces.
You're basically playing 2 games at the same time.
Yeah.
Double the game.
Double the game, yeah. The other hall monitor immediately got trapped in a small room and could not get out of it. The only time
probably 5-6 times.
The only time he did is when he then immediately flew off the map, bringing him back to his center room. It was just a room of death. What was great is that people avoided that room entirely because they're like, he's just in there, and it was
he's just in there.
It was a corridor that they needed to go through.
Yeah.
But otherwise, by avoiding that room, they had to deal with me in every other room in here. Because I literally I started off with my first hit flying across 2 rooms and hitting a guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, this is how we're starting. You know, like regular Ice Cool, it ends when either one person gets all 3 of their fish or the hall monitors collectively get all of the other hall passes.
Yep.
I had 6 hall passes at the end of that round.
Nice. All of them.
I got all of them. So I drew 7 cards, and I was like, this is a way to start a round.
Yep.
And then and we had like 4 people who were completely new to like most games, it seemed.
Yeah.
But they seemed to be enjoying themselves. And then at the end of that, at the final round, I just went in like turbo mode to get all those fishes super quick, including I basically did the upper flip where you can just jump over rooms, and I jumped over like 3 rooms and landed in another on the other side of the entire map, and then I spent 2 to then get a fish, and it was just like, the thing was that there was a hall monitor in there too, and I was like, how the fuck did I avoid him?
Yeah. So basically, you got all the hall passes in your hall monitor round, and then like 3 flicks got 3 fish in the other round.
Yeah, before anybody
immediately ended the round.
Before anybody got, maybe 1 or 2 people had other fish, but nobody, like the hall monitors didn't take any IDs or anything like that.
And no one had more than 1 of their fish.
Yeah.
So Zach won that one.
I did.
Yeah. We didn't even add up points.
Yeah.
Zach won. Game's over. It did take forever.
It took like an hour and a half, I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Sounds about right.
A very long time.
It's definitely not something I would do a lot, but I mean, like, I enjoyed it, but I was definitely, every time someone went, I was like, all right, like we had the order spread out. Every time someone finished, I immediately was like, all right, who is next? I was trying to keep it going because it could have gone longer, especially because there was at least 1 or 2 people that were like talking with other people, and then I'd be like, hey, Brown, and then be like, oh, okay, let me go do this real quick, and then go right back to talking.
Yeah.
So
Like when you played Mars Golf.
I haven't played it.
Oh my god!
With like 8 or with like 12 people or something.
Yeah, we did that at Rack House.
Rack House, yeah.
It was
like
the same way.
Every single time it's like, all right, so who's up next? Who's
Yeah.
up next? Who's up next? Because this is going to take forever without everybody paying attention.
Yep.
And nobody was paying attention.
Nope.
Yeah. No, yeah, but yeah, definitely when you have 8 players, good players are gonna do a lot better.
Yeah.
Than it's. And Andrew Kaiser tried to learn the jump the room flick, and he did it once, I think.
Yeah.
But for the most part, he would always just like immediately flick, and he'd just go right into a wall. And it was always just like, and he'd always be like, "Is this right? Is this right?" And I'm like, as far as I can tell, yes, until you actually execute, and then the execution was a failure. Yeah.
So no.
I saw several people actually succeed at jumping rooms.
Yes.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And I've mastered the flicking in such a way that my finger doesn't hurt when I was done, where everybody else was just like,
ow.
But I was just like, no, it's fine.
That was the Wednesday game night activity. On the Tuesday, Epic Game Night activity, played Magic Maze. I think it was all level 1 stuff, I think.
Level 3.
Level 3? God, what's level 1?
I don't know.
Okay.
You don't switch them around. I don't.
Gotcha. Because there's a million levels to this.
Yes.
And Paul wants to go fucking full max out every single thing. And it's like, all right, there's like 2 people that have never played before. We're not doing that.
Yeah, we played it on Wednesday, and Paul started us at level 3. And then we're like, yeah, we could play this again. And he's like, all right, we're going straight to like 7.
All right, here's security cameras and other bullshit that you could. It's like, all right, and you lost
walls
before you
that
even started.
only the dwarf.
Yeah,
the barbarian
we
could go
did that
through.
one. We didn't do security cameras, but we did the ones that are one way for only the barbarian.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what else, but maybe it wasn't 7, it was like 5 or something, but we jumped a couple
There
of
is a
levels.
million things in that game.
Yeah, and that's not even what the expansion too.
Yeah. Yeah, you just have to sit down and play that game like constantly to be able to have a chance at even doing it, all that kind of stuff, which I have no real.
It's definitely the most passive aggressive game.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Just slam the thing in front of the person until they do what they need to do.
Yeah.
Or you run out of time.
Yeah.
Or you
Which
flip
we
the-
had happened once.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we're just like putting it right in front of them.
And they're like,
And
why?
I don't know what to do.
I don't have any moves.
But yeah.
I don't have any moves. Why? I can't move that one. I can't move that one. I could move this one, but why would I? I can't move that one. Oh, I guess I should move this. Oh, because we need more time.
Yeah, exactly. And Paul continues to embellish further and further the story with Adrian turning it.
It has gotten out of control. Like at Wednesday, he was playing with some people and
It was
telling the story.
No, it was next to me, I guess.
And yeah, he's got it to the point where it was like, you know, when you do this, you got to flip it over, and then don't be like Adrian, and then immediately flip it back down. It was like we were like 3 or 4 moves, several moves in, like it had trickled, like a quarter to a third of it had went through. It was still way too early of a flip.
It was about a quarter, and then we were able to go and fix it.
Yeah.
But it definitely wasn't an immediate loss, like he is saying. But
yeah, he made it sound like I ruined the game.
I mean, he's just doing what my dad likes to do, and don't let the truth interfere with a good story.
Correct.
So,
Oh,
yeah, that's
and
fair.
and what a lot of people like to do, and don't let the truth about Adrian interfere with shitting on Adrian.
But that is the truth.
that is the truth. Yeah.
So,
Very important distinction.
yes. Wes, what about you? What have you played lately?
I played that, and we got some Action Castle stuff in. We did
Which one were you doing?
We did the like 80s cop one.
Because I do remember hearing you guys talking, and I just remember the only thing I remember hearing it was just like, I'm gonna eat that donut.
Yeah, there was donuts. There was donuts because we were doing the 80s cop one. But before that, we did the Flaming Goat one.
Okay.
Which was hilarious. You just start out in a subway and it's deserted.
Like a sandwich shop?
No. Like a train station.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
An underground train station.
Is there a subway in the subway?
Yeah, you arrive on the subway.
Uh-huh.
In the subway.
Yeah.
You get off into the subway.
Okay.
And then you try to go up the stairs to leave the subway, and there's a flaming goat.
Okay.
And then?
Well, I don't want to spoils it.
Okay.
Obviously, the goat dies because it's on fire.
Well, I guess there's a goat on fire.
Yep.
Not much I can do about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would like to watch it die, please. Like, I want to stare it right in the eyes.
Right, it's goat eyes.
Yeah. But not to spoil it too much, it was a very short encounter. Once you deal with the goat, there's not a whole lot else to do.
Okay.
So then we did the 80s cop one.
Oh, that's what you did too. Gotcha.
Right. And I was the computer for that one and gave them way too much leniency on just like murdering mobsters, because then we got like later in the game and certain mobsters that they knocked out that I just let them murder reappeared and like, oh, I'm going to get you for what you did to me earlier. And I was like, well, this is a different mobster now.
There's a lot of them.
How could you kill my identical brother? Have you played that yet, Adrian? Besides the
I think I did like the print and play one that
Okay.
Andrew ran way back.
original OG Action Castle.
Yes.
Gotcha. I played.
Otherwise, like I sat around like 2 weeks ago at game night when you guys played.
Yeah,
and
we
I
did a
punched City of
Spooky Manor.
Gears.
Oh, cool.
That one was a little tedious, but it was still enjoyable. And we had one person that kept wanting to do something, and that the other two people would be like, "No, I don't want to do it." So they'd be like, someone would be like, "I want to pick this up." And the other person would be like, "I'm going to drop it." And the other one's like, "We're walking away from this." And then it'd be
That's always fun when the players don't agree on what's going to happen.
yeah.
Move east, move west, move
Yeah.
east, move west.
Yeah.
For myself, I haven't really played a whole lot. Played City of Gears at game night.
Yeah, you finally got a chance to try it out.
Yep. So,
Because we didn't have Arkham, and you were like, "Man, this is the only reason I came to fucking game night."
yeah, because Megan worked. And so, like, I ended up.
And I never went home.
And I wish I had known you guys wanted to play Arkham, else I literally would have stopped at home to pick it up.
Yeah.
I cannot play enough of that game, but that's a story
Just
for
because you
another
just
day.
love shitting all over it the entire time you're playing, right? You're
Yeah.
like, you just
just constant talking shit about the game.
Oh,
all
you can
the
play it
time.
again. Man, this fucking game.
I hate this game
Shit.
so much. It is the
It
worst game.
sucks.
Let's play it again so we can talk about how bad it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so because I went out of my way to drive Megan to work, which then means, and that in and of itself isn't a bad thing. Like the worst thing is like I got to drop her off at like 6:30, so it makes me late to game night. But then the worst part comes the next morning when I have to get up and go get her at like 7:30 in the morning when all I want to do is sleep in. But so yeah, I went through all of that to come to game night to play Arkham for the review, and then everybody's like, "Yeah, we didn't bring Arkham." Wait, what? Shit. I was like, "Oh wait, I have City of Gears still in my bag. Like that's a review that's coming up. We can play that." So we busted that out. It was Zach, Jeff, Katie, and I. And Zach and Jeff kind of used their past knowledge of learning it at Gen Con, along with fumbling through the rules a little bit to kind of get it going. And that game ends quickly.
No, this is 100% not a game where you want to have any sort of like long-term strategy. It's you have to go like super hard the entire time because it could end super quick.
Yes. Basically, like you're flipping over these 9 city tiles, and once all 9 are flipped over, you throw 4 tokens in the bag, the draw bag, and once you've drawn the third of those special tokens, the game just immediately ends. Like, if your first action is to draw from the bag and you draw that third one, congratulations, you don't get to do any more of your turn. So do your turn, as much of your turn as you can, then draw towards the end of the game is one of my little tidbits of advice.
Mm-hmm.
Conceivably, the game could end on the first draw after you add those in, because whenever you draw one, you set it aside and then redraw. And so you could, in theory, the first draw after you put them in, draw 1, draw 2, draw 3, and game immediately ends, which would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's fairly unlikely, but it could happen.
We got about 2/3 of the way through all the gears, I think, maybe even a little bit more.
Yeah.
Before you drew the third one.
Yep. It's an interesting game. I'm not sure how I really feel about it. It's one play, it was a learning play. I'm curious, and it's definitely one of those games too where like I felt like I was getting stomped, and then I was like I got third place, and if I'd done one thing slightly different, I would have gotten second place.
Yep.
So I wasn't nearly as out of it as I thought I was.
Well, it's because it's an area control game, and not and it's area based on your robots and also the gears you have. So you can get, by building a good infrastructure, you can get a lot of points that way.
Yeah. And there wasn't much destruction going on. I think there was
There was a decent amount. I got like 4 of my robots crunched.
To be fair, 3 of them were because you were in that one space that I was like, I'm not letting Adrian have that space, and so I'm gonna attack him, and then you would switch away, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna go there and kill you again. And then Jeff attacked you for whatever reason instead of Katie, who was clearly in the lead.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Which Katie then proceeded to, like, I almost could have gotten second. Nobody was even close to first. It was such a one-sided beatdown.
I had 21 with second. She had 35.
Which is a huge spread.
Yeah.
Huge spread.
I have no idea where all those points came from.
Maybe it was the massive pile of fucking tokens that she had. Victory point tokens she had right clearly in front of her.
Yeah. I'm not one to add up everyone else's points to make the game last longer.
No, but all you had to do was literally glance to the left and be like, well, that's a giant-ass pile of coins right there.
I'm going to destroy one of these 2 robots in this space. Let's see. Adrian has like 2 point tokens.
But you were all the way on the other side of the map. I was getting rid of your influence over on my side.
Yeah, okay.
There's one influence versus your 2 and her 3.
Yeah. Duh.
First time I played the game.
That's not
the
true
level
at all.
of fucks I really give about my first play is very low.
I know.
Yeah, so played that. Didn't play anything afterwards. That pretty much wrapped up the evening for me. Didn't go to Tuesday game nights because I wasn't going to deal with the car bullshit. And I'm not sure how I feel about going to play games at the place that so unceremoniously, removed my right to work there and take free beer.
Right to work state.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I might start going at some point. We'll see. But that's really all I played. I didn't play much else. So yeah, not a whole lot of gaming over here this week for me. So
I finally got a chance. Well, so I ended up buying the Pandemic, the new one, The Fall of Rome, so that me and Andrew could give it a try. And then while I was there, I was like, oh, look, I know that they've had these 2 expansions of Mansions of Madness, and
you'd fallen behind.
I'd fallen behind, and I was like, you know what? I only see one of the new one, Horrific Journeys. I'll just go ahead and pick that up, and I'll also pick up the Street or the Beyond, the smaller one, whatever one it was called.
Yeah.
So then I post it on Slack, and then not even 2 minutes later, Jeff sends a message.
I was like, I guess I'll return your Christmas present.
And I was like, my bad.
He's getting a different Christmas present now.
Yeah.
But I've told him you are not allowed to purchase this item.
Yep. That's
because I know you want it.
Yeah. That's why I always whenever I give out presents, I give them immediately because I know how impulsive I am.
I hadn't even had a chance.
Yeah. Yeah. I was inexplicably drawn to Black and Red to go purchase it.
Yes.
Just to fuck you over, Jeff,
Yes.
apparently. But we got a chance to try out one of the new scenarios from that.
Yes, the newest Mansions of Madness expansion.
Yes, the Horrific Journeys.
Horrific Journeys.
We were on a dirigible.
Helium dirigible.
Yes. They actually make a reference to the Archer quote about...
should you be smoking
yes,
in here?
should you be smoking here?
On this hydrogen blimp?
Yeah. First thing, my mansion shit has now leaked into 3 boxes to hold everything, and that it's including the bigger box that the base game comes in.
One is just tiles.
Yes.
One rectangular cube of tiles.
And then another one is still holding more tiles because there are still more.
Yes.
And then the other one just holds all the minis. It's just a crap ton of minis. I'm glad I don't care about painting them because they would be
impossible to store in the first place. They're huge.
They're huge. The bases are gigantic. and not
You need like a Imperial Guard army transport of Cthulhu miniatures. Just
pretty
for
much,
this game.
yeah. But this one, like I said, we're on a dirigible. It was a murder mystery.
Yeah.
Murder. Yeah, I picked a
On the Stargazer Majestic.
yes.
I believe was the name.
Yep. And basically, we were just going around talking to all these people, doing that shit. I picked a like combat focused guy. Combat really didn't show up until the end at all, and I was like, God damn it!
There was like 3 monsters the whole game.
Yeah. Yes. And then because there's a whole bunch of people, and you had to figure out who killed this other person.
Yeah, and you have evidence, and and you pick that up through chatting with people, and you have like a log you can go back to, and it will like tell you all the evidence that you've picked up.
And you can find certain things, and it'll be like, hey, you should probably go talk to this person about why the fuck this was here, which you can go do and get more information, and then eventually you can go talk to the captain and accuse people, get them all in a circle, and be like, here's all our evidence, and here's where we found it, and why. Scooby-Doo them, basically. But we didn't.
Like blood on a map and stuff
Yeah,
like
exactly.
that.
But we didn't do it, so
We were one turn.
we were one turn away from it, and so the person basically went into the engine room and was like, "Aha! It was too late." And then, because they're like winds and shit that was picking up.
So the Mythos phase was basically just do tests to not take horror or damage and stuff like that for the whole time, because we're in this storm and we're just getting like rocked about.
Yep.
Or seeing weird shit.
Yeah, and so the storm started getting super bad, and then the ship started breaking up.
Yeah.
Did he blow it up with all that hydrogen?
No, it's just the.
I'm sure it would have.
I'm sure it would have,
had
yeah.
it been a hydrogen blimp.
Exactly, but no, it was just like, all right, all the viewing rooms, they're gone now, so just take them off,
and just keep falling off.
and they keep falling off, and then anyone who was in there gets moved and takes a lot of damage.
Only happened to me once.
Yeah.
But it happened to be the turn after I just dropped literally everything I had on the ground.
He had so many weapons and shit.
I had like 4 items, 3 weapons, and then another thing, and then I just kept dropping those items every single time.
Byakhee came up, which was basically all about just knocking shit out of his hands.
Yeah.
and then he dropped all his good weapons, and then the front of the ship broke off, and so we lost all of those weapons.
Yep.
I was like, God damn it.
Yep.
He didn't need them.
No.
And then a star spawn.
Yeah, Star
spawned.
Spawn came and basically
Footed me away.
you became wounded.
Yeah.
I became wounded.
Then
We
I
both-
became insane.
And then I became insane.
Yep.
My insanity condition was super simple. It was just, I want to go home. So we had to complete the investigation, and I couldn't be lost in space and time.
Oh, that's not so bad.
It's not so bad. Jeff's, on the other
Paul
hand,
was lost in time and space, however.
exactly. He was lost in time and space once, and I was.
He went to the future.
He went to the future.
Tried to use a smartphone. Failed. And then got sent to the past.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I can handle this out now.
Yeah.
And so he was able to come back, and then pieces kept falling off and off.
Yeah, just slowly the ship just kept disintegrating.
Yep.
We were at the last turn. I think it was finally.
100%. It was just like the engine room and like a hallway, and that was about it.
Yeah.
And then we were able to kill the person, and then get the engine unfucked up.
Which thankfully only took 1 action.
Yeah, I was able to do it in 1 turn, which was good. But then Jeff's.
So my insanity condition was.
Well, okay. So let's just say we did that, and so we won. We were able to kill the person, and
Investigation ended.
Investigated in. So all of us won, except
me,
except Jeff,
who then got because I got the insanity condition of if the investigators win, you lose. So I didn't even have a turn to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Before I lost.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was basically like you felt that we were meddling in things that we were supposed
of the
to.
natural order.
The natural order, and so why should we be allowed to change it? And
But it was too late.
well, I know, but Paul and I were talking about it, and like I was super close to death, and it was like it would have been hilarious if we're like we got in a situation where it was like, Jeff, we need you to go turn that pipe, and you can go to the pipe and look at it and be like, I'm just gonna leave those pipes alone.
I'm gonna fuck these pipes up real good.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck them up real good. Jeff, what the fuck are you doing? And then we'd lose, and he'd be like, aha, and he'd be like, you motherfucker.
I was reading there are some rarely used actions in there. There's a push action,
Yes.
so I can like test strength versus someone else, and I can move them a space away, so I could get someone further away, or I could push someone into like a monster,
Right,
and they
yeah.
have to try and evade or something like that.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
But that's super useful too, like, because you can push them a space, and then you can also move after.
That is nice.
Yeah.
So it kind of gets someone that's like one space away. You can kind of push them one space closer using someone else's.
Well, and especially because there are a lot of insanity conditions that are like, if this person starts their turn in the same with only one investigator in their space and a blade, they win because they basically kill you and sacrifice you to a god. And so it's just like, whenever someone has an insane condition, it's like, why are you in the same space as me? Get the fuck away from me. But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. It was Paul's first time, and he really liked it.
Yeah.
But he's really glad that I own it, so he didn't have to buy all that bullshit that I bought.
Yeah.
How Adrian still owns the first edition and the conversion kit.
God damn it.
Still need to buy that second edition to be able to use the app.
Yep.
Yeah, that fucking...
I feel like
damn
Ant has the second edition.
He does. He bought it at Gen Con with you.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been vaguely trying to keep an eye out for somebody selling a copy somewhere for cheap so I can snatch it up. But I want to play more of it. Megan and I really wanted to play it like back over Halloween.
Yeah.
And she was on call that night, and like so I was like, well, I'm gonna hang out with her because she could get called in at any moment. She didn't end up getting called in at all, so we probably could have went and played. And oh well. There's 16 scenarios for it now, and then 3 that you could buy as well. That's crazy.
Yep. If you want to spend another $15,
get 19 scenarios.
Yep.
And we looked through it again briefly, and it's set up in an entirely different way too. So
I just did like another setup. The first room is the same, but like as soon as you started opening doors, it was like totally different.
And I'm sure whoever did it changes too.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I really like about having the app is that you can get different scenario or different things that happen in the same scenario.
Yeah.
So and then I also played all those other things that we talked about.
Yes.
So
all of the other things got played.
Yep.
Right on. And Jeff mentioned earlier, no bloody minute this week.
I said I'm already going to cut it, and it's
right now.
It's going to. Yep.
I'm in the playoffs. I'm 7th seed against 2nd seed. He's going to fuck me up real good.
That's some crazy deja vu.
Yeah, weird. I feel like we've been here before.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right on. Well, that wraps up all of the banter stuff. And it's been several weeks since we jumped into the Lookback Machine to go back and readdress some of our older reviews. And so we're going to do a quick little Lookback Machine visit thing.
Some would say several months.
Several months. But we're gonna look back at some games that we reviewed roughly 2 years ago and see how we feel about them now. Wes, you can participate in this if you've played them.
Or take a vow of silence, your choice.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't reviewed any of these, so it's not really a look back.
Right. But maybe you can give some context to how they hold up now in the here and now, in the today times.
Oof. I don't know about that.
All right, Zach, what's the first game on this list?
First game is Quadropolis.
Haven't played it.
How did we say it?
Quadropolis.
Yes, Quadropolis.
Elect. Only our Colorado listeners will get that.
That we reviewed that at October 26, 2016.
Yes. I am relatively certain that this is another one that I have not played since we reviewed it. However, I've wanted to. I certainly did for a while immediately after, but it was like, there's other games. Then it did kind of over time start to fade where I haven't thought about it for a while. But, thinking about it again, it's a simple little light game. There's some interesting...
especially if you play the advanced variant or expert variant. And I know there's an expansion out for it, but Paul is the one that owned it, and I don't know if he still has it or not.
Yeah, I don't either. If he did, I'd be interested in playing both the base game and I wouldn't mind trying the expansion. Yeah. I still feel positive about it. It's not like I've played it since and it's like, it doesn't really live up. It's bullshit. It's boring. Get rid of it. But it also, it hasn't hit the table since we reviewed it. So
right.
And that expansion came out in 2017.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Right on.
Did you play it at all?
Never played it.
Okay. Jeff, any interest in playing it again?
Yeah, I mean, there was nothing wrong with it ever.
Okay.
It's a fine game.
Fine game. Cool.
What's next?
Isle of Skye. We reviewed that November 2nd, 2016, which there are 2 expansions for it now. Druids and
Journeyman. Yes, which I have the Journeyman expansion. I've had it for a little while. I have not had a chance to play it yet because this is such a great intro game. I find I'm often playing with new players, and so I just haven't had a chance.
But you have played this one a lot since the review.
Yes,
so.
I continue to play Isle of Skye.
It seemed to be a lot of like one of your go-tos for introducing newer people to games.
Yeah, it's in my current collection. I've ran into this a little bit like every now and then when I redo my shelves, like I'll take all my games out of my game night bag and I'll put everything and I'll organize my shelves the way I like. And then I'll go coming up on the next game and all right, what games do I want to take? And I'm increasingly realizing that my collection is not suited to game night at all.
No, you have a bag and a half's worth of game night games and then much heavier games.
Yes. And so Isle of Skye is pretty much nearly constant in my game night bag. The only time I'd say it really gets taken out is like I took it out recently because I put in City of Gears because we're trying to play that.
Right, yeah.
Depending on how City of Gears goes and playing it more and how I feel about it long term, I might get swapped back out or something. So, but yeah, I play it very regularly. I still think it's a really good game. I'm eager to try the expansions to see what they add and how they change it.
Gotcha. Wes, did you ever play it?
I never reviewed this.
Did you ever play it?
I have played it. Yeah,
okay.
no, I'm a big fan of this game. I like Isle of Skye. Also have not played with the expansions though, so look forward to trying that out.
And Jeff, what about you? Have you played it since the review?
We may have played it, but maybe only once or twice.
Yeah.
Still a good game.
I've only ever jokingly tried to get Zach to play it just so that I can watch him mime shooting himself in the face or making some joke about how it makes him feel dead inside. So, next up.
Next up is Mechs versus Minions. And we reviewed this November 9th, 2016.
I did not, if anybody remembers the review or has, if you haven't listened to it, spoiler alert, I did not like Mechs vs. Minions. And so I have not wanted to, nor have I been forced to play this game. So I have no new insights. Still zero interest in playing Mechs vs. Minions for me.
Go for it.
Have any of us played it since?
Yes.
Okay.
I had been, I know both of us, Jeff, had wanted to play it more.
It is definitely off of this list currently and upcoming.
Yeah.
The one that we've talked most about wanting to get back to play.
Yep.
Second only to Mansions of Madness, which we have finally gotten back to actually play.
Yes, that is true. But I did get, I was sitting, Wes, Paul, and I were at his place, and we played Arkham.
We played Arkham
and
first.
then we're like, cool, we could do something now. And then he's like, do you want to try Mechs versus Minions? And I was like, because he bought a copy, like, I think he got the third wave, so he's had it for about a year or something like that. He had never played it, and then I was like, fuck it, let's bust it out.
Yeah.
And we played the first 2 scenarios.
That's not much shorter than what we ended up getting through, right?
We got we ended up going through 3 and 4 too, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't think I played 4. I think I dropped out after 3 because I was like,
all right,
I am becoming a negative influence on this game because of how much I dislike it.
Yes.
So I'm going to step away.
Yeah. What'd you think of it, Wes?
I had a lot of fun. I thought it was a great game.
Yeah.
Definitely want to keep playing it.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Paul enjoyed it too, and just gushed over all the components and insert.
Had he opened
yeah.
the box?
The
I
components
mean,
and everything is just amazing.
Yeah.
You can gush over those.
Yes.
Easily.
Yeah. Still one of the best deals in terms of just like quantity of components.
Most game,
yes. Whether or not you like the game, obviously that's debatable. But just in terms of the amount of game, like the amount of stuff you get in that for the price you pay is crazy.
Yeah.
Right on. Next up.
So we technically did a Pandemic Legacy Season 1 first 6 months. That's its own thing.
Yes. We've not replayed the first 6 months of Pandemic Legacy Season 1.
No. Kaiser
I was on that episode, though.
You were? Okay, good.
I mean,
no, you were.
Since we're talking about games I've reviewed, I did review that.
All right, but our next review was Last Will, and this was November 23rd, 2016.
Brewster's Millions, the board game.
Yes, which I don't even know how many times I've described it. I've described it as that, and people have just been like, I haven't seen that movie. You motherfuckers.
I haven't.
I saw it at 7-Eleven for like $5 on Blu-ray, and I was like so close to getting it. Just to be like, anytime I tell anybody that, and they're like, I haven't seen it, just throw it in their face.
you just keep it in your back
Yeah.
pocket all
Yeah.
the time.
Just keep it in the
Yeah,
box.
Keeps it in
to,
a holster on his arm, ready
yeah.
to just wha-cha!
Because I'm sure it was somewhere around these ones where we were whipping out Blu-rays. So
Oh yeah, that trend of late 2016, whipping out Blu-rays.
yep. Well, it was the title of one of the episodes.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Whippin Blu-rays.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what the context was. I can rarely remember what the context for our titles are.
The week of.
The week
Yeah.
of.
I don't even know how many times I'll post it, and then Jeff will be like,
Where did that come
"Where did that come from?" And it's just like, "Oh, this." And he's like, "Oh, right."
I don't think I've played Last Will since the review. I might have, but I do remember it coming up fairly recently. I think in a conversation about games like something about interesting game mechanics or something. I think it came up.
Well, we talked about it in the unique worker placement or something like that.
Yeah, that's
so.
what it was. And it came up that along with Last Will, there's like the other one you can kind of play along with
Prodigals Club,
yeah.
which it has a money thing you have to lose in there, but you could just play Last Will in that. Like instead of using their money system, you just are like, we're just going to attach Last Will to this, and now we will play that.
Yeah, so there's a way to play both of them together,
Interesting.
which I think sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really like Last Will. I liked it then.
Mhm.
I still like it. If I ever saw it for relatively cheap, I'd probably buy it for myself.
Yeah.
It's another one I wouldn't mind having.
I remember not being that big. Like, as much as I like the idea of the expansion, where you also had a job where you had to get fired.
Oh, yeah.
It just didn't. The theme didn't come across. Like, it felt too. I don't know.
It didn't integrate very
Yeah, it didn't
well.
integrate well, and it was abstracted enough to where it didn't feel like you were trying to lose a job.
Yeah, and since it kept putting money into the game, it kind of made it drag a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. But I do like the game. I still have it. Did you ever play it, Wes?
I think I played it once, like 2 years ago or something, and I remember being not very impressed.
Gotcha.
Interesting. Next up.
Next up is Cry Havoc. This was November 30th, 2016. And I know none of us played it
Nope.
since the expansion.
No.
I don't.
Do you still have it, Jeff?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think any of us really enjoyed it at the time.
No.
And I don't think any of us have had any desire to revisit.
I know
that
there's an
again.
expansion that came out, but nothing about it made me go like, oh, maybe that'll fix our problem with it.
It continues to be you need 4 players that know the game to play this and sort of enjoy it.
Yeah, the only thing I really liked was the combat mechanism, but I felt but
Rising Sun
did it, so I like that. Did you ever play it?
I have never played
Okay.
that.
You're not missing anything.
You're not. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's okay if you.
There's other way better area control games, and that's coming from somebody who doesn't like area control games.
Yes.
Fair enough.
And our last one for this round is Twilight Imperium 3rd Edition, December 7th, 2016. So, I mean, it got replaced. I don't know if you heard our episode. It has officially been replaced by TI4
Yeah.
Officially.
as an honorable mention. Yeah.
Yes. I do believe that we played Twilight Imperium 3rd after the
Oh, yes.
review at least a couple times,
Yep.
and then we've played Twilight Imperium 4 multiple times.
We still
Since then.
continue the rotation of it. So,
GI's a good game, even if per the Slack argument that went on and on last night, it's not a heavy game.
We're not going to rehash that.
No, we're not going to rehash that. Led to some good discussions, though.
yeah.
Another reason to join the Slack channel. Links in the show notes.
Yeah. I don't know, when you asked, like, you seem a bit feisty today or whatever, I was just glad someone else was there to actually have a constructive argument with you. It wouldn't have been that way if I would have been the only one talking.
You got lucky that I happened to have nothing to do and a keyboard. 'Cause
Yes.
if I had typed any of that out on my phone, it would have not happened.
Yeah.
There were a couple times like I almost had to stop because like I was downstairs watching Netflix and like Megan was like laying across the couch with her head on my leg like asleep and like trying to like text over her head without disturbing her was getting very awkward.
Sure it was.
And like there's been times in the past where I've gotten really into a thing like that and I've been doing that and then like I move my phone just weird and drop it right on her face while she's asleep. I've done
Nice.
that multiple times. Thankfully that did
Multiple
not, that did
times.
not
Multiple
happen.
times.
So I mean I've dropped my phone in my own face, like laying in
Oh,
bed.
I've done that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's done that.
You feel like such a dumbass whenever you do it.
Oh, yeah.
You're just like, this is on me, literally.
So but yeah, I did type all of that on my phone.
But yeah, I was glad that I was driving. So I was just like, okay.
It was funny though, because eventually there was no one but Wes and I. Everybody else was kind of like I'm gonna just walk away from this. But good stuff. All right. That wraps up our Lookback Machine journey. We are now returning to December 2018 to continue the show. We'll probably do another one of these.
Can't we go back? Can't we just stay in 2016? I feel like it was better.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I had money. I was snowboarding a lot more.
I still had a
How
job.
about like October of 2016?
As long as we can actually change things.
So we'll go back to so we jumped in this and we went back to 1026. So we'll just jump back. We'll go to 1026.
And then November 2016 never happens, and it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Everything is fine.
Everything's good. We'll probably be back in the Lookback Machine towards the end of January. That looks like the next time we'll be able to knock out like 5 or 6 of these. I think that's the way we're going to do it.
Wait, are you projecting the Lookback Machine into the future now?
Correct. I am. Yes.
You're using the look forward machine.
Yes.
Yes. Timey-wimey, wobbly.
He's using the look forward monocle.
Yes.
But yeah, I think we kind of settled on doing it every like 5, 6.
Yeah. As long as we remember.
As long as we remember.
Because I was totally wanting to do it last week and then I forgot.
Right. So, we got a lot of feedback. Some people are like, just do like whenever there is one for an episode, do it then. Some people liked it a little bit more as its own segment. So it'll, we're probably going to stick with occasional segment every month or two.
I like this format.
Knock a few out right at once. But yeah, we're back in 2018 and let's do some news at Kickstarters.
On to news. First up in news, PAX Unplugged was out east in Philadelphia.
Born and raised.
Were you?
No,
I didn't. I was like,
in West Philadelphia.
Yeah, born and raised.
My sister watched that show. I did not watch that show.
You didn't watch Fresh Prince?
No, I did not watch Fresh Prince. But there was some fresh board games at the PAX Unplugged.
Oh, nice transition.
Yeah. First up, and my most excited for, they announced a Metal Gear Solid board game coming from the designer of Spectre Ops, which is very appropriate.
Yes, which is one person stealthing around while other people are trying to find him. So
yeah,
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous that they had to very clearly specify that it's not a re-theme of Spec Ops, but
yeah, this was back November 30th that the picture came out of it's just an announcement. It's just here's a picture that says Metal Gear Solid, the board game.
They also did update it. That's going to be a cooperative game for 1 to 4 players.
Well, I think so that's what he means is that because that one is a 1v all, whereas this one is cooperative.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't know how the 1 to 4 player cooperative Metal Gear game is going to go.
You're going to have
it's
Solid Snake and Liquid Snake and Solidus Snake and Plasma Snake and all roaming around.
All cooperating with each other.
And then you're going to be reading about 12 pages of text.
Yes.
Between
Per
action.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you're going to be like, I don't understand this at all.
And Jeff is still very excited for it,
Yes.
even knowing all of this.
Only because then it'll give you more quotes for the end of the episode.
There's so many. Ugh.
Yeah, in addition to that, IDW also announced 2 new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games, City Fall and Change is Constant.
Going to Kickstarter.
Yep. Both standalone games. Don't really have a lot more information on that other than, they'll be Kickstarter games.
I mean, they're
Both
basically
coming-
like standalone expansions for their previous ones. So,
Yep. And then in the new trend of everything becomes legacy, Clank is partnering up with
Penny Arcade
to do Clank Legacy Acquisitions Incorporated, where you're trying to build a corporation of dungeon delvers going through and raiding dungeons.
Yeah, and this is their D&D characters that have been around for, I think, decades at this point.
gotcha.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
They've had that game going forever.
I'm sure. And this will be fall 2019. So, still a ways away.
We'll see how the Clank Legacy turns out.
Yeah,
It's either
there
be
was
a complete flop or super good.
Well, there's been one deck builder legacy, but it still isn't out yet. But that's the
Aeon's End.
Aeon's End had a legacy. So we'll see if it works for deck builders or not.
Yeah. Acquisitions Inc., by the way, 10 years old.
10 years.
It is a decade old. Started back in 2008 and kind of kicked off the whole friends having fun playing D&D podcast genre. So I'm going to have to add that to the rotation. I forgot that one exists.
Next up on news, a new game from a Japanese publisher, Iten, is announcing coming to the US, Stonehenge and the Sun, a 2 to 4 player dexterity game.
Hitting Kickstarter mid-December.
Oh,
so
yeah.
soon. But that's
Yeah.
the game you tried? Or
No,
saw?
Eric from What's
That's
That
what it was,
Playing
yeah.
with Punchboard, he had posted a video on Twitter, like a short little clip of him playing it. And I saw that it was a dexterity game where you swing a ball into stacks of blocks and went, holy shit, Paul, you're going to need this game.
Oh, yeah.
And now in the article here that we have from BGG, they mentioned that they're not sure how they're going to do the ball on the string. And I could have sworn Eric said that it had like a little stand that they were using that like went up and around it. And that was part of it. So I don't know if that was something they were testing and maybe it didn't work for some reason or another, but they're still working on the specific details of how to suspend the ball on the string. But essentially, you're going to be building up Stonehenge. So you place blocks on top of other blocks going around, and then on your turn, you have to, after you place a block, you have to swing the ball on a string, the sun, through Stonehenge, and it represents the passing of time. So it might knock over blocks or change things. And if you knock blocks over, you get them as negative points, and whoever has the least blocks in front of them at the end of the game wins. So it's going to be a game where everybody's going to be negative, and just whoever is negative, the
least
is the winner.
Sounds like hamster roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only with a marble on a string.
Instead of a hamster roll.
Correct. So, it looks really cool. I think it's definitely up Paul's bullshit dexterity
Oh,
alley.
100%.
Oh,
yeah.
100%.
So I'm sure we'll get to play it at some point.
I expect it to be $60 or more on Kickstarter.
At least.
Depends on how elaborate of a contraption they get to swing the ball from.
Well, it's also big things of wood, too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they're pretty
So.
easy. But it's not a ton of them. I mean,
Okay. Well, still, we'll see.
We'll see. Very soon.
indeed.
Coming to a Kickstarter segment near you. Last up at news, Sagrada has got a bunch of new expansions coming out. 3 new expansions, in fact.
How many is that, Jeff?
Trace.
1.
You only have so many middle
2.
fingers.
3.
There we go. Yeah. There we go.
The first up is going to be they're all part of the Great Facade expansions. And the first one's going to be Passion, and then Life, and then Glory. And those are the 3 facades of the Sagrada Familia. Not a whole lot out about any of them, except that Passion will be coming out next spring and will include inspiration cards that allow once per game special abilities, and then it will include new clear dice that are glass as opposed to stained glass.
They're supposed to be wild, I guess.
Yeah, but you can only ever have one of them in play at a time. So I guess it'll have some mechanic to move around or be removed.
Gotcha.
And then new public objectives that deal with those, things like that. And then a new symmetry public objective that requires players to create symmetric patterns on their board. Yeah, nothing new, no information at all on Life and Glory yet. But they're coming.
Yep. They're having expansions that don't just add more players. So
Yeah, since the first expansion was literally just 5 and 6 players.
Yep.
They were playing the Catan expansion variant.
I mean, it needed it.
Did it though?
Yes. Yes.
I actually haven't played it, so I don't know.
I mean, it's fine at 4 players, but it's one of those games that you want to try and get a lot of new people at game night to try and play it. So having the option to play it at 6 players is a huge bonus, I think, for game night.
Right on.
That's it for news.
Indeed, we kept it short.
because we had all that
Other stuff.
other shit to look at.
All that Lookback Machine.
Yep.
Like next week when we have to talk about Kingdom Death for another 20 minutes.
Yep.
Oh God.
But that brings us to Kickstarter. And our first Kickstarter is a big one.
Speaking of ridiculous cooperative,
Yeah,
fucking miniature Kickstarters.
It's made a little bit of money.
it's made a tiny bit. This is Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. $2.6 million on its $51,000 goal. Over 24,000 backers and a bit more than 2 weeks left to pledge this one, which you can for $140 without add-ons.
Yeah. So this is a survival co-op, an adventure survival co-op game set in the unique world that they have inspired by Arthurian legends. And essentially this is, kind of like you guys were just mentioning Kingdom Death Monster. This is just a shit ton of different scenarios and things all packed into this one game. So it's tons of different scripts and storylines and branching paths and modular boards and everything that come together to let you go on this ridiculous adventure in this world they've cooked up.
Reminds me a little more of kind of another Gloomhaven, kinda, in its amount of like story that it has in there.
Yeah.
They say 30 to 40 hours to complete all 15 chapters of the campaign.
And then if you get the $140 one, it comes with a whole another campaign.
Yeah.
That's another 30 to 40 hours and 15 chapters.
Yeah, just the base game comes with a 220-page book, the Last Night campaign, that's just full of all kinds of stuff. Looks like they mainly use cards for locations. So you kind of, as you move
it's
around,
like a world map of cards, which is interesting.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
They seem to fit well together so far.
Yeah, the art is beautiful.
Yeah.
It looks a little weird seeing the minis like moving around on the card map that you build out, but
Seems to be enemy models that you go and fight.
yeah.
Ooh, this is by the people that made This War of Mine.
Oh.
Has relatively positive reviews from Rado.
Yeah. It looks pretty good. And there's only one add-on right now. So
It's only a $10 add-on for a new character, which makes this nice. Nice condensed Kickstarter without a lot of extra stuff. And they do know how to make a story-driven branching, here's a bunch of option kind of bullshit game.
Exactly.
Shipping's not great.
No, but it's also if you do an all-in shipping, it is 10 kilograms. So
Yeah.
a bit hefty.
It's about $40.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of stretch goals.
Yeah, they've done 7 Kickstarter projects so far. Edge Miniature Universe, Awakening Project, This War of Mine, First Wave of Lords of Hellas, The Edge Downfall, and they are currently delivering the first wave of Nemesis. And that's only 6, so I don't know why they said they have delivered. Oh, they funded 7 projects. So this is the 7th that they funded.
Right.
And they've delivered 5 of them, are currently delivering the 6th. And then there's this.
It seems to be a lot of game. It's got a full rule book on there that you can go look. It's pre-Kickstarter alpha rule book, but it looks pretty well designed already.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I'm not seeing any like Kickstarter exclusive stuff.
I think there are some, but it's not much.
I think so there are some.
Like what?
Well, because they just mentioned up at the top, why back now? Save money, get exclusives, double the content for free because you get all of the stretch goals, and they've almost doubled the core box content.
I mean,
in
definitely
stretch
for that,
goals.
yeah.
But yeah, so they mention at least up there that there will be or are, like they say, the Monsters of Avalon expansion is unlikely to ever go to retail.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, dude, I'll play that.
there you go. So yeah, that's Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon. Got 2 weeks to make some decisions on it.
Make some $140 decisions. Next up in Kickstarter is Chai. Well-funded, $45,000 of its $25,000 goal, 810 backers, and over 3 weeks left to pledge this one, which can for the most popular pledge of $59 for the deluxe edition. I like Chai.
Chai tea is
specifically.
Chai tea is really good.
It is.
It's my go-to.
Anyway, it plays 1 to 5 players, takes 20 to 60 minutes, and you take on the role of team merchants.
You want to be the best.
And you want to be the best one, blending different varieties of chai.
The best there ever was.
Yes. On your turn, you choose one of 3 quality actions. First up, you can visit the market where you buy fresh ingredients.
There was a pun there. I want to make sure everybody got that it's quality.
Yeah.
No, I know. I didn't hear it at first until I read it, and then
Fair enough.
and I was like, okay,
Needs pointed out.
needs to be pointed
Needs
out.
to be the pun needs to be respected.
When we were doing the like prep stuff, and I like was going through this, and I like chuckled. Really, it was that pun.
Okay.
That pun was good enough to get a solid chuckle out of me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you could do one of 3 quality actions.
There we go.
Aha!
You can visit the market where you get new ingredients like mint, jasmine, lemon, ginger, berries, and lavender, and you get a gold coin. You can go to the pantry where you get items like milk, sugar, honey, vanilla, and spices. Or if you don't like any of the ones that are available in the pantry, you can blind draw from the bag. And then finally, you can reserve customers and use abilities. You're allowed 3 private reservations, so kind of like Splendor.
Oh,
You can reserve 3 cards. And when you reserve a customer, you get to choose a special ability to get a chai up on the competition, which I don't get that pun as much, but sure. And then optionally, in addition to those 3 actions, you can fulfill an order to end your turn, potentially collecting a tip in the process. And you keep doing that over and over until the end of the game, which I'm not sure what that is. But when you do, whoever has the most points from being the best tea maker is the winner.
And the difference between the regular and deluxe edition is $9 for some metal coins.
30 metal coins.
Yeah. They've unlocked several stretch goals already, upgraded first player token, some new cards.
There is a Team Master Edition too that's $250.
Jesus.
It has all of that. It has wooden laser cut tiles, tokens, coins, a wooden tea box with clasp and ornate bamboo teacups, 2 metal lapel pins, 40 art prints, and a handwritten note.
It's an impressive copy.
You skipped over the certificate of authenticity. The best part. The only part.
Yes, clearly.
Yeah, because if you get all that but you don't get that, you're like, man, this must be fake.
Correct.
Yeah.
I got to knock
How
off.
else will you know?
Yeah, we've read a lot of things about bullshit knockoff copies of games coming out recently.
Yeah, on
Now, you would
Amazon.
expect that from Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Just saying. Anyway.
The balls on the people.
If you want to save on shipping, because shipping is a bit high on this one, in some cases $25 to $30 high, you can go do local pickup in Alberta. So
just buy it if you're ever going to be in fucking Canada, or just pay for a flight.
Specifically Alberta.
Yeah.
Canada is large.
Nope. It's just you go there and be like, all right, I'll get it up. I'll get it at some point. Just sort of start walking. You'll get there eventually.
Correct. Sure, that checks out.
I mean, yes. I'm sure you could eventually get there if you started walking.
Yes. Yeah. Looks kind of interesting. I really like the art style for this one. I don't really care about tea, so the theme, meh. But I'd be interested in giving it a try, seeing if the gameplay stacked up.
Let's try.
Let's try.
Next up on Kickstarter is Blizzone and Blitz and Roll. So this is not quite well funded yet, about halfway, $3,400 of its $7,400 goal. 28 backers, but a little bit less than a month to go.
29 already. So
Yeah.
And 3,600. So whoever backed for like $200.
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, I mean, the prices on these things.
So go ahead and continue your intro
Yeah.
here, Jeff.
$3,600 of its $7,400 goal, 29 backers, and 29 days, or a little over 3 weeks. And you could pledge multiple hundreds of dollars to this, is what it is.
Yep.
Starting at about $103 and going up from there.
342.
342. So this is a Blood Bowl Kickstarter. It is all pitch related. They have multiple like transportable pitches.
You can sort of fold up, yeah.
Yeah, with 2 different sizes. The base one being $103. Or sorry, that's just terrain and stuff like that. Crowd stands, canopy, hero, dice towers, and things like that. You also get the custom block dice that they have in here. The base one starts at $113. That comes with the Blitz and Roll set, which is roll like you can play and then
Because the mat rolls up. It looks like so.
Yeah.
But it's like you can have all your Blood Bowl stuff in there, and then just be like, oh, let's play. Just unroll everything.
Yep. It comes with all the score counters and pitches and dugouts.
I like that they have multiple pictures of the people holding this in the transportable way, and they're posing for it.
Yeah.
Like in different, like, oh, I'm gonna put it on my back. I'm gonna hold it with my hand. I'm gonna put it on my back, but you can see it on my back this time.
Like a backpack.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like a purse. Or like a suitcase. The one I'm more interested in is the bigger one is the Blitz Zone. That's kind of like the big fold out one.
Yeah.
The one I was more interested in is definitely the smaller, more compact Blitz and Roll, just because the pitch still rolls up, but then it's just kind of like a smaller box that keeps all the minis in there, and it has all the trackers just off to the side, and it looks nice.
It's pretty well done. Yeah.
Yeah.
A bunch of different field designs and stuff you can choose from too.
Yeah, and you can get them painted or unpainted.
Looks like you'll be getting you can get some dice too that are.
Yeah, it seems like they all come with like the block dice,
which are fancy looking,
fancier.
Yeah.
Than usual.
Than the base ones, yes.
Yeah. Well, and the dice have they actually have the number pips on them now, so you can see like what's the 1 and the 6.
And they actually have 2 different sets depending on where the numbers are versus what the rolls are.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
The skull is always a 1.
Skull is always a 1. But the POW, not always a 6.
No.
Yeah. And then there's the crazy dwarf juggernaut for a lot of money that is just everything. Painted Blizzone with all the terrain, the dice, and the balls. They look to be
fancy.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It looks
cool.
like it's painted, like the dwarf juggernaut's painted too, it looks like.
Yes, yeah, you can get it, and there's multiple different paint color options that you can get on there. Yeah, it's a nice little set for transportable pitches. I haven't seen anything really like this before.
Yeah. Usually it's always those puzzle ones.
Yeah, puzzle boards.
Yeah.
But nothing that's like a laser cut wood style that is compactable, because usually they're a terror to want to take anywhere besides your living room.
Well, I remember seeing the ones at Gen Con that was like there was one that was basically like in a Coliseum.
Yeah.
And it's like, Jesus Christ.
That's definitely a special occasion. These seem nice for everyday use.
Looks like they have decent turnaround on them too. They're saying that they think they'll have them shipping as soon as April.
Yeah.
But they are, because they're semi-handcrafted, they're only going to be able to put out 20 a month. So like the first 20 will ship in April. Then the next 20, then the next 20, then the next 20. So right now when there's only 29 backers, you're looking at like April to May. If they blow up over the next, 3 weeks.
Well, obviously they're going to get the MHGG bump and it's going to have 20,000 backers now.
Well, especially once Jeff shares it with the local Denver, Blood Bowl league, and then everybody just starts bringing these to game night to play Blood Bowl.
Yep.
Just people carrying them in on their backpack style. Because of course both players will bring 2 pitches.
Exactly.
And then they'll argue over whose pitch to use.
Yeah.
That's
while posing and arguing about whose pose is better.
Yep.
I don't think Matt still owns yet to own a pitch.
Oh, I'm sure he doesn't.
He's been playing for like 3 seasons.
Does he even own his own team?
He does own his own team
Okay.
now. Yeah. But we do have our puzzle pitches coming in sooner or later.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right on. That is Blizzone and Blitz and Roll and sundry items, which wraps up news and Kickstarter. All done.
Now emails at milehighgameguys.com.
Yes, aka listener feedback.
AKA the best section of the show.
Of course.
So Jeff, we got a couple emails.
We did. This first one is from V, titled Thanks Guys. She continues, Aw, thanks guys. You made my week. Although Adrian was correct about the list I provided being meant for inspiration rather than verbatim reading. This is last week when we were supposed to be ripping into her about all these things, but she's too nice, so we ripped into her about her luggage.
Yeah. Well, and I told her after, I was like,
no, we read everything.
We read unless you specifically say, do not read this part, then we read it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're very into verbatim stuff.
Mm-hmm. It was so funny, to me at least, that the original intention didn't matter. And I definitely was kind of a dick when I beat Zach at Hanamakoji.
No, it's completely fine. No, I just thought it was funny.
I highly encourage anybody who beats Zach at a game to just be as poor of a loser as you can.
Yes.
Especially Hanamakoji.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry, Zach. You're just an excellent player, and I rarely win at games. I was so excited. Thank you for being tolerant of my overreaction.
Do you want to go get the trash can? Because it sounds like you're going to vomit.
I do. I gagged real hard there.
Unrelated question. When can we expect another Jenga one-shot?
I think we were thinking of doing something like that around Christmas time.
Yeah, something around that, yeah. I think we were thinking about maybe doing them on the other side, like on the 5s that aren't questions, maybe too.
Yeah.
So it might be more consistent. We might also just do 1 or 2 and keep them in the back, a back pocket in case
for studio damage that takes a week off.
Yep.
That way we still have content, because we got enough. Apparently people thought we were about to lose out on most podcast status when we took a week off.
Yeah.
So we got to prepare for that in the future.
Exactly. Yeah. Because if we get another talking about Twilight Imperium.
I mean,
then I just take a pickaxe to the place. So
and we sat on our our first 2 Time Stories episodes for like, a year and a half.
Yeah.
Mainly due because of the quality of it.
We weren't sure
They
they'd
were-
ever see the light of day.
They were too good. They'd make everything else just seem worse.
Yeah, obviously.
but
Did you ever listen to those?
Probably.
Okay, yeah, it was the ones where they accidentally just recorded on the laptop mic instead of our
Oh,
actual
yeah,
mics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I listened.
We were talking into our mics.
Yes.
That weren't working.
Exactly.
It didn't matter.
I since learned to, double check what inputs are what. It's even better now that I switched software. But anyhow, yeah, we should have another Jenga one shot coming up. Although it's not a Jenga one shot. It's
Dread.
well, and also Dread uses Jenga.
Yes. Have we gotten an official Jenga set yet?
No,
No. Weird.
We're working on getting Hasbro.
Just
All right, so it's on sale.
Okay, I will get Jenga.
You might still be able to return that other one.
It's been over 30 days.
I mean, you could use it as a giveaway.
Also, yes.
Use that particular copy.
Yeah, you get signed tiles or whatever, and there
Yeah.
you go. Boom.
Yeah.
We used this one on the one shot.
Yep. We'll throw that up on eBay.
I'll write on the. You could sign on the inside of the box lid that this is the Quinn safe zone inside the box.
Yeah. You can fit in here. You're safe.
Yeah. No killers are gonna get you in here.
Nope.
I love how many people in relation to that episode was like, "What was Stacy's motivation?" It's like, dude, there was no motivation.
Doesn't matter.
Towards the end of that episode, the wheels were coming off as fast as possible. So yeah, thanks V for the email.
Yes,
We
thank you.
appreciate it. And next email.
This next one comes from the hater,
Boo.
titled Game Pieces. In response to your comments on components in containers and possibly Big City being phallic, here's a good mnemonic for you. Please sing. No, I won't, Jeb. If it's taller than it's wide, it's a phallus. If it's taller than it's wide, it's a phallus. If it's not taller than it's wide, just put it on its side. Now it's taller than it's wide, and it's a phallus.
All right, now I
mean,
need
he's
someone
not
to
wrong.
auto tune that
Yeah.
and then send it back to us.
Yes.
Hope that helps. It does. It
Yes.
very much helps.
Yes. Thank you, Andrew. We appreciate that.
Emails at milehighgameguys.com if you would like to send us an email. Maybe about phallus mnemonics.
Right on. We had several new entries in the YouTube comment category. Paulo is back. He says, "Great to have you guys back." This is on the episode 120 from last week. One thing for me, at least, sound volume was off. Yeah, the studio was destroyed, and we were working on fixing all of that. So
And
hopefully,
we had a new mic setup too.
Yes.
So mics, if you saw the picture that we sent, the mics are above us, and now they are lower down and more towards the center of the table, so it's closer to everybody.
yeah, we're playing with layouts a bit. So
Yeah.
hopefully this episode will be back
Yes.
to appropriate sound levels.
Currently feels appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a blanket.
Yep. It's
We're
testing.
testing.
We're testing because your wall gets super
Reflective.
Yeah, reflecty.
Yeah.
So
And then our newest subscriber over on YouTube, M, says, "Paulo, you have to defend your corner." Also, great episode.
did you say there were multiple comments?
Those were 2 separate ones.
Okay.
So, yes, it was, "Paulo, you have to defend your corner." And then immediately thereafter on the same video, also, great episode.
I'm looking
Waiting-
forward to the YouTube fight.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Our first YouTube fight.
I think Paulo's defended his corner before.
Okay.
Sure, he'll be back in force.
Well, just need to start talking about politics or something.
Yeah. Paulo VM. Whoever wins, we also win because it's content.
And then we had a BGG follow-up.
Yes, we did. This is from Macam Game. This is on the top 10 game replacements. Not a board game, but board game related. MHGG replaces The Secret Cabal. The banter is better. The show doesn't feel forced and is more enjoyable to listen to.
I'll take it.
Sure.
Yeah.
They're one of the most successful board game podcasts out there. I'll happily be better than them.
We'll throw that on our website.
MHGG replaces Secret Cabal.
Yes.
Says this one dude.
From Guy.
From
Right.
some dude on the internet.
Yep.
Yeah, from the fans.
Yeah.
And they're the ones who really matter.
Correct.
You hear the sarcasm in his voice? He doesn't love you.
Aw. Anyway, that wraps up listener feedback. Thanks everybody who contributed, whether through emails,
Emails at milehighgameguys.com.
through Twitter, where we can be reached at MHGameGuys.
I am a Zach _MHGG.
I am Jeff _MHGG.
And you can always reach Wes through the new D&D Twitter.
Right. At Mile High Dungeon Delvers, it's at MHGD_pod.
Indeed. You can also subscribe to us over on YouTube if you want. And then you can have battles with M and Paulo over who gets to control the comment section of Mile High Game Guys Twitter. Or YouTube. One of those things. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram /Mile High Game Guys. And you can always jump over to the website, milehighgameguys.com, for show notes, including links to Slack, so you can get involved with Wes and I discussing whether or not Twilight Imperium is a heavy game, and what even heavy game means.
Or should mean.
Or any of that stuff.
Or what does anything mean, really?
No one knows. As always, these ridiculous Wednesday episodes are brought to you by our awesome sponsors, Gray Fox Games. Their latest Kickstarter is currently fulfilling now and should be showing up in stores any day if they aren't already on shelves as we speak. And that is City of Gears from Gray Fox Games. I finally got a chance to play it last week on Wednesday with Zach and Jeff teaching me. And it's a nice, quick, easy to pick up, easy to teach little area control game that uses big whole bunch of unique plastic gears. Like, they all have a unique power to connect a bunch of tiles in a city, and then the game ends.
Yep.
Really quick.
Yes, it
You
is.
discover the city, and it's over.
Yeah. It's definitely, what is it? I think it says 30 to 45 minutes on the box.
45, I think it said 45 to an hour.
I think it said 45 to an hour.
It's definitely in that time frame.
Yeah.
I think we finished it in an hour with teaching me and Katie, both who had never played.
Yeah.
And you guys trying to reconcile what you remembered from way back at Gen Con
From a demo.
with the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. So still went nice and quick. But yeah, so start looking for that, and we'll have a review out for that next Friday. So a little over a week until our review of City of Gears.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, do you have a prepared statement for us?
As is tradition, Gray Fox Games, quality games cleverly crafted. Also, after Zanzibar, I was taken from the battle, neither truly alive nor truly dead, an undying shadow in a world of lights. Now, in front of you, I can finally die.
Dark.
That's Gray Fox.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show. Be sure to catch us next Wednesday for another Banter episode, and this Friday, first of all, for Arkham Horror 3rd Edition review, and then next week for our City of Gears review. And also next week will be the next episode of Mile High Dungeon Delvers, so keep an ear out for that. Yeah. Thanks, Wes, for joining us. It was a pleasure having you.
Pleasure being here, as always.
Yeah. As always, I've been your host, Adrian.
I am still Zach.
And I still lose at Co-op Games, Jeff.
And I'm just Wes.
Bye.
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 Punchboard Media,
where we all
bring something
to the table.
Pull up a chair
at punchboardmedia.com.